Hi guys. I'm kind of been really preoccupied. I was going to do a different video tonight because of it being Disability Pride Month. I want to get some things done, but uh I've got too much laundry and housework to do. Oops. So, I thought, and then I did promise someone that I would get this hashtag done this week, because I don't like a bunch of, I like to space my stuff out, but I promised someone that I would do this week, and so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I keep my promise. So, I am going to do the 10 tarot tubers 10 decks tag that Nova Mundi had created or done or combined, and she does have out a new deck, and I will get a screenshot and show it here in a minute, and I will link her new deck in the description. But unfortunately, and I'm going to see if this is going to work. My cat has donked my phone stand some behind the desk, and I can't reach it. So the children were occupied tonight. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Let's see if we can get this to work correctly. So, well, hello. Okay. So I'm doing it a bit different than what she is doing in the tag. And again, guys, I apologize if I move the phone around and stuff, because hey, I gotta do what I gotta do. And using these little easels are good for tarot stuff, but not for what I'm using them for. I don't know how I'm gonna get that phone stand. So, anyway, I'm gonna do this a bit differently, and if you're not mentioned, it's nothing personal. I'm just doing people that I know really well and have really interacted with and kind of know their personalities a bit. So gonna do it that way. So you may see where I have multiple people attached to decks, and some I have one person and more than one deck. So, let's do this. So the first person that I'm going to put up here is Ember over at Psycho Pump Into the Void. I chose two decks. I chose Dark Angel because it's all about the dark and the badass. Okay. So we're gonna see how I can make this work. I may have to do it this way. Because, well, and just kind of alternated. I'm sorry about the glare. I wanted to do other things today, but this is gonna drive me insane. It's gonna drive me insane until I get this video out. So, bear with me, guys. I'm obviously getting messaged. I should have put my phone on silent. So, that deck is all about the dark and the badass, right? And I also chose for her Witchling Academy because of the fact that even though Amber, as the inner, that embraces her badass, she also, and she is very wise and is, but she's still also willing to be, or acknowledges that she is still learning and growing and in her student phase, as we all are. And plus the main character in this deck, she is all about strength and learning and all of those things, and growth, and doesn't let pride or ego get in the way of her. This one's upside down. And her courage and her growth, and is not about self-preservation or any of that. So these are why I chose, and of course I put these upside down. I'll just do a couple more. And the Dark Angel is all about the protector also. And embracing her divine feminine as well as her dark feminine. But, she is still all about the learning and all about the growth. And all about the not afraid to be a badass and not let anyone dictate to her what to do. So that's Ember over at Psychopomp. I feel as though we can't start off the tag really without the creator and what decks remind me of the creator. One of the creators, Miss Terramundi herself. I chose the Tarot Apocalypsis, and I did it again. And the Star Dragon Oracle, because the dragon, again, about courage and strength and grace, and a little bit of that fire element too. And the Apocalypsis Tarot, because it is a deck that is all about ancient customs, ancient cultures, and that balance and that respect, and learning about those cultures that are probably older than mine, and a lady that has a lot of grace even in the face of adversity, and conducts herself with the utmost class in a situation. I don't think that I could create a deck, and with all the things that are going on with deck creation, I don't think I'd even want to now, to be honest. And what she, to do that to me takes a lot of courage, probably more courage than I would have ever had to do something like that. I can't draw, and I'm certainly not going to mess with all of the AI stuff. I'm not going to benefit financially from that. Not that I can make money anyway. But that lady has a lot more courage than I have. And learning about her particular her culture and her willingness to learn and respect the cultures of others is pretty amazing. And in the state of things, you don't have a lot of that in the situation that we are currently finding ourselves in. So those are the decks that reminded me of Nova Mundi. Okay, I don't know what happened there. But this is more of, a nostalgia thing, because that's what we were all about way back when we both, well, she was involved in YouTube a bit before I was, but she was always about making things yourself and making do with what you had, and not being ashamed to own that, because that's what we have to do in life sometimes, is make do with what we have. And we shouldn't be, she's very unapologetic about that. And that takes a lot of ingenuity on our part, or her part, because I learned a lot about that. And being practical. So, and again, she was never ashamed to own that. Back in the day when this platform was all about ingenuity and fun, and she was always all about tradition and finding ways of healing and nature, and respecting the environment, and being all about the environment and protecting the environment. One of the more old school practitioners, I'd like to say. But we learned about going and getting those Dixit, D-I-X-I-T, not the one you're thinking of, and getting those and creating, because they were pretty decent price, although now they're not, and creating our own tarot and oracle, or cutting out magazines, and making decks, being do-it-yourself about our craft and about our practice. Nothing against it, but anyway, that was the decks that I selected for Lindy. And next is Courtney over at Erie's Witchcraft. Now, for Erie, because of her practice, this is the only, well, I have one rune oracle, but the Viking Tarot, and then the Murder of Crows. I've learned a lot about the Norse pantheon from her, because I try to be all about that, learning about the different pantheons and the different cultures and such. And one thing I learned is that there is a lot about people with disabilities within the Norse pantheon. When I was doing my paganism and disabilities stuff. And the other thing about Erie is, although Erie has the dark aesthetic to her, Erie has a very good, or has a mastery, I should say, because I sure don't have it. A mastery of the balance of light and dark, and keeping the light and shadow aspect. And I didn't check the cards because of the last time I used them. The light and shadow aspect of her path and her practice in balance. She does a better job at keeping balance than I do. But, again, I have learned a lot from her when it comes to the Norse pantheon and the Norse history, and how men and women were usually equal within that culture, within that history. There were a lot of women who were able to fight and protect for what they believed in. Plus, not to mention the fact that Erie and I have been seeing a lot of crows lately. We've had that conversation. So, this deck, even though I haven't used these in a minute, so I should have checked them before I did them, and I did not. But I have learned a lot from her. She's been one of those ladies, witches, that has practiced a lot longer than I have and helped me kind of catch up, because when I came back to the practice, there was a lot of changes that took place that I was very unaware of. And she helped me to play catch up. Plus, I've been telling her about this deck, the Murder of Crows deck, for quite some time. And now she gets to see it. Plus, it's a black and white deck, and she loves her black and white decks. I think I only have 2 black and white decks. Well, I had it right the first time. Holy crap. I don't know. Like, I'm lost on that one. So, but that deck always makes me think of her. So that's Erie's Witchcraft. Next is Sonia and Trish. Trish over at the Witch of the Dismal. Actually, Sonia and both Trishes. Trish of Beanbag Hagwag and Trish of Witch of the Dismal Swamp. And Sonia, because these 3 ladies always give off this type of energy to me. Probably because we're... Oh, I forgot what a pain in the butt this thing is to get out one-handed. They are all about... They just give off that type of energy to me because of the art and because of the music. And they're a little bit older than me. So these decks just totally seem to vibe with these 3 ladies. And the music oracle, I am going to do a thorough walkthrough of it when I get time. But just something about these decks with the music and the vibe of it, just, I don't know, it just makes me think of these three ladies, because they've seen a lot and done a lot and have that, I don't want to say that, just that natural, they just come off as just ladies that just have that peace, love, and light kind of a vibe, you know, the Ashbury, and, you know, that, hippie, please, don't consider hippie to be an insult, but, and to a degree, that is me. Even though, you know, I can be overly dark from what I understand, but, these ladies, they just, they come across to me, it just makes me think of them, these three ladies, whenever, especially with the Grateful Dead, and plus the genre of it, just, you know, that happy, and just that nature, the love of nature, and the peace, love, and light, and just, this just always seems to me, maybe a little bit of Willow too. I can kind of think of Lindy when I look at this too. But this isn't the only music deck I'm going to get, but I'm going to do a more thorough walkthrough of this one. But that deck, or those decks, just remind me of those ladies. I don't know what the deal is. This is one of the few masculine decks I have anyway. But anyway, that's the deck for Raymond, and Bobby and Draven. Next we have Star at the Wild Witch, and Debbie of Debbie's, ooh, that's not good, Debbie's Witchy Vlogs. Jeez. You can tell I haven't used this deck in a minute. Because they are about the light and nature and the magic and basically the innocence, and the whimsy and the herbs and traditional witchcraft, from the lighter aspect of things, and the positivity, and Star loves her fairies, and Star is also someone who is partially blind, so we kind of really understand each other. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Tarot of the Moon Garden and the good Karma Tarot. I'm sorry about that. So, you know, this is all about, you know, that whimsy and that light and nature. And this is something that, you know, kind of always would make me think of these two ladies. And I have Tarot, the Guardian of the Night Tarot and the Bestiary Tarot, for Abby the Witch and Jasmine Ambrosia. We all live in the same state. We've all lived in the same kind of area. So we have that kind of in common. And these ladies are very much so about traditional witchcraft. And one aspect of traditional witchcraft is being all about the land and knowing the land and the connection to the land, as well as the spirits of the land. And that is something that I think is really getting lost currently in the world we're living in, is a respect and a connection to the land and spirit, as in the tree spirit. Each animal has its spirit and its element and the stories within them and their place, even grandmother spider, within the land. Next I have Lady Adara the Crone. I've known Lady Adara for a bit. We've kind of been about the we've been and seen a lot together. Lady Adara was one who basically got me to get up off my butt, bite the bullet, and she and Aiden got me up on a panel. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Pagan Cat and Tarot of the Witch's Garden. Because this, I'll go into that. Anyway, right in the throes of COVID, I'm up there reading cards, and I had was a bit tipsy because I had some adult beverage. I was really lacking the confidence to get up on a live and do readings, and they're like, put up or shut up, shit or get off the pot. She does not beat around the bush, and I like that about her. When I started with deity work, because of her background and her many years of witchcraft and the practice, she helped me through all of the basics when it came to deity work, because when I started I really wasn't doing much in the way of deity work, so she was very helpful with that. I learned a lot about tradition from her and herbs, and we've kind of seen a lot together, paranormal experiences that we've had together, but we've kind of we don't get to talk much, but anyway, how did that happen? That's interesting. I'll have to fix that. How wizards, Anyway, I'm gonna have to fix, I think they fell into each other. I learned a lot from her, because as I was coming back and still doing Wicca and kind of making that spiritual growth from Wicca to where I'm at now. And yeah, she just says how she feels, and again, that's just something that I like and appreciate about her. And we've kind of helped each other through some things, and we've had our disagreements, but we don't always see things the same, but at least we have that respect and understanding. And that's kind of rare to find, especially now. So, again, I don't have the box for Pagan Cat anymore, but that's the Witch Tarot card. Next, and even though she's not of the of Tarot or Witchy community, we got Sugar at Go Get 'Em Paranormal, and the Ghost Tarot. She does do a lot of paranormal investigating, and she's also all about being authentic and true to herself and to her content. She does do a lot of history, and she is unapologetic, very unapologetic, and very all about truth and not taking it from anybody. But the Ghost Tarot always kind of makes me think of Sugar. Doing her live streams and, loves her history. Loves her history. And it's always all about history and being true to herself. And very, unapologetic. And being real. Next, I have Sebastian and B at a Kylie Sunflower. B is one who has that balance between keeping it light and simple, and being intricate and having a lot of attention to detail. And a lady, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to name the decks. This is the Shadowscape, and for Sebastian we have Wizard's Tarot. But she keeps it classy, always with her lovely nails, and when she does her deck reviews, she definitely likes to keep it simple. Some of the decks that she does are quite interesting. And of course, we're all about the fairies, with her being in England. So that's a little bit about B. And she's all about balance and keeping her balance. What can I say about Sebastian? Sebastian is always one who does not take, he doesn't take it seriously. He doesn't take life seriously. He always has a joke. Even in the face of adversity. If he's not joking or telling a joke, he is doing something to make you laugh. If you ever see his video of him, his reaction to Madonna's Like a Prayer, it is just hilarious. He will be one to have your back. There's a banana joke between him and Lady Adara. It's an ongoing thing, and I made the joke, and somebody didn't get it, and he was like, no, leave her alone. It's a private joke. But moving to a new country and all the things that he's having to go through, and still still maintain humor with everything that he's going through. I wish I had that kind of strength and courage that he does. I really do. Last but certainly not least, we have Selena at Essence of the Moon. So, Luna Soul Tarot, and of course, Moonology. Selena always says that she is a witch first and a tarot reader second. And I like that about her. Her sense of humor. And her love of history. I have no clue how this is going down. I think, wow. Anyway, I don't know how that's going down. I think when the kid grabbed some stuff. I have to put some things and reorganize. Her love of history. Her creativity. Standing up for what's right. And letting you know when, or letting others know when they're not standing up for what's right. A very strong woman. I couldn't juggle all the things that she's currently juggling. I do not have the capacity for that, especially the multitasking. That's something that I would not have the ability, to do. So, that's all about Selena. So, trying to put this stuff back, and just when I dropped some moving stuff, I think some decks got discombobulated, and I just never, decks I haven't used in a minute. So, I'm gonna get reorganized. So, anyway, guys, that was my rendition of the tag. And I know I did not exactly follow the rules, but anyway, peace, love, and light, and do what you feel that you need to do when it comes to subscribing and commenting and liking. I'll see you guys in the next video.